Welcome back. It is week 5 of Pantry Challenge, and I'm just about done with Pantry Challenge. I don't think I'm going to do a full week this week. I do want to use this video, though, to tell you how the Pantry Challenge went. So what I'm doing right now is I am getting out some bacon, some lettuce, and can you guess what the last thing I'm getting out is? Tomato. So I'm gonna make a BLT. This has been my go-to over the last few days. I also need mayo, so I guess tomato wasn't the last thing, and I need the bread, which I'm using sourdough bread that we cooked up in the sourdough party, so I just need to get that out. Actually, this isn't sourdough party bread. This is the bean bread that we did in the protein video. So I'm going to make a sandwich, and I want to talk all about how much we spent over Pantry Challenge, and then I think I'm also going to make some muffins, and during then we'll talk about what we used up and if it was a success, which, spoiler alert, it was a success. So let's make a BLT. We are underway. I got everything out, and then I am getting the bread toasted. I've got everything out that I need washed up. Let's talk about how much I spent this month while the bread finishes toasting. So in week 1, we spent... So I'm gonna grab my laptop to tell you because that just makes it a whole lot easier. So in week 1, we spent $5.96. If you wanna see what we bought, go back to the week 1 video because I don't remember, honestly. Whoa, okay. Week 2, we spent $22.20. Week 3, we spent $1.11, which is questionable. It could be $11, but I had a $10 off coupon if you spent X amount of dollars on like food, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. So I did buy some cleaning supplies, but I'm not counting that in my pantry challenge because it was only food. So I'm gonna go with $1.11. And then in week 4, we spent $2 because we bought the lettuce. So we spent a total of $31.25, and I didn't buy anything this week. But in one of these weeks, I also made cake for work. And so if we count the supplies that I bought specifically for the cake, that was $20 between all the icings, the sprinkles, the cake mix, and then the eggs that I needed for it. And so if you add that to the $31.25 total, that brings us to $50. Now my goal for the month was to stay under $100, and so we did that. We stayed under $100 by a good chunk. So that makes me really happy. Now, did I use everything up that I wanted to? No, but I knew I wasn't going to use everything. Don't worry, this is light mayo, so I'm slathering it on there, but it has less calories than the regular mayo. So we didn't use exactly everything up, but we used a good chunk of things up, and I also am planning on doing the pantry, yeah, that's too much, the pantry challenge in January. So we'll give it a rest for a few months, make some crock pot meals and such, because it's Crocktober, stock up on some things for Stocktober. It's the month of like everything tobers. And so we will switch gears, change our focus, and let's see. It's taking a little bit more thought to get the bacon on here, which I made the bacon in my air fryer. I've been loving making bacon that way. I usually don't make a whole lot of bacon, but the air fryer has just made it so easy. Okay, so cutting up the Roma tomato. Even though I didn't get through every little thing that I wanted to, I'm super happy about the things that I did get through. Whoa, maybe we'll just do it like that. We'll do one there, one there. These are Roma tomatoes from my garden. Not these are, but just this one. Will it fit? We're gonna make this fit. Now, as for what I used up, I'm going to, well, make some muffins as soon as I'm done eating lunch. And we will talk all about what we used up because there were quite a few things that I wanted to. I will tell you the one thing that I didn't use up but I ended up tossing was the masa. Somebody wrote in the comments saying that it can go rancid, and I smelled it and it smelled kind of bitter. I did a little bit of a taste test on it and it didn't taste bitter, but I just wasn't so sure. So I did throw out all of the masa. It was from like 4 years ago, and so threw that one thing out. That was the only thing I think I needed to throw out. So I'm gonna go get some lunch and we'll be back to make the muffins and chat about what we used up. Okay, let's make these muffins. Lunch was delicious. Sourdough bread with a BLT is amazing. I used to just use regular store-bought bread and it's a game changer. So we're starting off with 2 eggs. Now the reason that I wanted to make this recipe is because, well, one, it's lemon, and I just really love anything with lemon. Whoops, I just turned it off. I got a new scale, by the way. My other scale a lot of times doesn't work. And so I thought it'd be great to have another one just in case. And then also, I hosted a sourdough class. And so now I'll have 2 scales because I'm going to host that class again at least 2 more times. You guys, so I scheduled another one of those classes because there was so much interest in my community. We had 10 people show up on that first event, and there were a bunch that said maybe that didn't end up coming. 10 was the perfect amount, but I scheduled another class for about 3 weeks later, which right now that's 2 weeks out from now. And within not even 24 hours, the class was full and had way too many people in it. We've got like almost 30 people as maybe, and right now I'm 2 over capacity. So I capped it at 10, and I have 13 right now who responded going. So that's a tricky situation, trying to figure out how to tell them we're already at capacity. I mean, it's written all over the event, but like on Facebook, there's no way to like limit the amount of people. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to handle more people just in case they come, because I don't want anyone to feel left out. But I created another event, because there were just so many people. Anyways, all that to say, the class was a hit, but I have sourdough starter, so I'm going to use some of this starter. I could just save it because I'm going to be needing a bunch in a few weeks, but I love lemon, and I'm thinking that sourdough lemon muffins could be very delicious. So we need 200 grams of starter, and this is discard. This is, I mean, starter and discard are the same thing, but this is unfed, so it's discard. To make it active starter, you would just feed it. So let's see here, and that'll get this container out of my fridge, which will be great. I probably should have done the starter first, because when I put too much in, I could have pulled it out. We're just gonna go with a little bit too much. So my other thought is, I think I'm gonna pour the rest into here so I can get this, you know, out of the fridge. We also need 20 grams of lemon juice. Did I ever explain the full reason of why I was so excited about this recipe? Yes, it was because I had extra starter, but also I love lemon. I usually do lemon zucchini bread, but like lemon muffins are delicious. So I love lemon, putting the sourdough in it, hopefully it'll be even better. That was the full thought process. Not sure if I got there before. And don't worry, I am still planning on telling you all about how we did and what we used up, but I realized I can't do that and think about all these measurements at the same time. So as soon as we get to the part where I'm going to be putting these muffins in the tray, in the tins, I mean, they're not tins, they're silicone, then I will give you all those details. Okay, we need some vanilla, and I don't measure vanilla out, I just vanilla. We need oil. Yep, how much oil? 100 grams of oil. I have no idea. Whoa, 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 whoa. That didn't zero in. Okay. Let's see there. We're at 20, 40, 60. Uh-oh. Oh wait, we're gonna make it. 104. Okay. We're going a little heavy on everything. That's part of the course, right? Let's see. What else? 5 grams of salt. Lemon zest. I don't have lemon zest. We're gonna be fine without it. Whoa. I've never actually measured salt before, so there is definitely not 5 grams in that. $9 grams? I don't think I want 9. Pick some out. 70 grams of sugar. What the heck? Whenever I tear it, it doesn't exactly tear. I'm still learning this new scale. What did I say? 70? Yep. That was way too much. Okay, a little crazy, but I think we'll be close enough once we get there. Baking powder and flour is all that's left. And then this does have a glaze. It's a lemon juice and powdered sugar glaze, which I've made that glaze before and it is delicious. So let's get the flour and baking powder in here. So for flour, we need 200 grams. Maybe it's a double tap. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, let's try not to overdo it. We have to go a little over 200 because everything else was a little over. But I don't want to put way more than needed in here. Okay, 206. And then how much baking powder? 6 grams. So I'm going to 211. I'm not going to tear it this time. 213. A little over. Everything's a little over. All right. Now I'm expecting to get 6 giant muffins out of this. I took out my really big muffin tins because I find that with the little ones that are cupcake size, I eat 2. So I might as well just make them bigger and eat 1, right? Let's see. Now for my goal, I wanted to use up 2 things each week, basically. And so I definitely did that and more, and I'm even continuing to use things up now, even though Pantry Challenge is over. But I mean, I always shelf cook, and so it's pretty standard for me to be using things in that type of a way, like the Pantry Challenge way. So starting back at week 1, we had a game night, which was so much fun, and I made a bunch of food, and I used up some of those jarred sauces that were something that I really wanted to use up because they had not gluten, well, they did have gluten. They had soy sauce in them, and I can't eat soy sauce. How full should I fill these? Like, this one's a little higher than the other one. So I used both of those up. Now we do have some leftovers, which at this point they've kind of cooked for far too long because they were in the crock pots for a really long time. And I can't eat those. So I'm thinking through what exactly I want to do with them. We'll see. I also made a bunch of chicken sheet pan meals. So I used up the sweet chili sauce that was in the refrigerator. So that was fantastic. And then on week 2, I really was working through all the single serve meals. So across the Pantry Challenge time, we went through all but 1 single serve meal. I still have 1 left. I didn't use any of our bigger family style meals. Those are still in the freezer. And we did go through every single serve meal that I keep on the bottom shelf. And I even made more, and there's still some left. So I think we're gonna get more of these than I thought. So what else did I use? I'm looking at my list because I wrote down what I used. I also went through all the chicken nuggets that we had. And I then made, trying to figure out if I want I think I'm gonna keep filling the ones that I already have open. I also used up the pistachio pudding that week, and I had made some rolls. So I used up the rolls. There's a few things that I was cooking that I used up as we went as well. So that was fantastic. We did a great job on week 2. This in here. And then somewhere along the lines between week 2 and week 3, I made some grits casseroles. And so that was good. That was something I definitely wanted to use up. Now, I didn't use up the grits. I used some of the grits, which we're gonna call a win. I used 3/4 of a cup. I also used up some turkey lunch meat at the same time. Let's see, this one. So that was fantastic. That was all in the breakfast meals. And then for meat, I used up the chicken wings, and I used up the bone-in pork chops. Not all of them. I used 1 package. We have 2 packages, but that was something I really wanted to get to. And I also used up the frozen soy milk from my garage. And let me tell you, it thawed beautifully. There was no issues at all. So that was fantastic. I also used cooked sausage. I'm reading my list. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't say that. In week 4, I canned beans, and put those in here. And 2 of the jars didn't seal. So I used those 2 jars making chili. And I also used a quart jar, which was something that I really wanted to use up. So a quart of beans was used up to make the chili as well. And then we had our sourdough party. So I made a bunch of sourdough bread, had a bunch of leftovers. We used the leftovers, and I used up the jam. So the grape jelly was something that I really wanted to use up. And it's not completely used up, but I used part of that during our game night, and part of it for the sourdough event, and so those things were used. So let me get these in the oven. I have I have no idea how long they'll take, but we will see. And then that brings us to today. I mean, I've probably used up a whole lot of other things, but as for the main things that I wanted to, that was it. Today I did use up some noodles that I've wanted to use up for a while, and I mean, I just made a bunch of crock pot meals that you'll be seeing in October. I'm a little, helter-skelter with my videos, but we're going to let those come out of the oven, cool off completely, and then we will make the glaze to go on top. But overall, my pantry challenge went very well this time. I'm super happy about how it went. We didn't spend hardly any money. We saved a ton of money, but somehow we still spent just as much money throughout the month. I'm like, what did I do? I bought a bunch of stuff for like the sourdough party, and I'm gonna be hosting a cookie party in December, and so I'm already buying stuff for that, like little bags so that people can take cookies home with them. We have like 20 people confirmed. Is that it? 10 to 20 people confirmed, I know that, and then like 30 people maybe, so we might have a ton of people here, so that'll be so much fun. This year is just the year of hosting, and it's the season of cozy, so those are gonna cook. We'll be back when they're done. These just came out of the oven, and I'm really liking how big they turned out, and so this is fantastic. I'm going to let them cool for a few minutes on the tray, then I'll take them off the tray, and then I will take them out of the silicone liners as well, but I want them to firm up a bit before I do that. But we will be back when it's time to glaze them. I have a ton going on in the kitchen right now, so I am going to get these iced up over here. These look beautiful. I hope they taste as good as they look. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice into a whole bunch of powdered sugar. You know, the thing about this side of my island is it doesn't have a standing mat, and just standing here for a few seconds, I'm like, dang, those things are super helpful. I think I'm going to need a little bit more, but it goes real fast. Like once you start mixing it in, it turns to liquid super fast, so you don't want to put too much in. Just about there. Okay. And I like a really thick glaze. So this is about the consistency. Mix in the last little bits of sugar, and I'm going to drizzle this across. And onto the plate, I guess. Look great. This is my favorite glaze, by the way. There's a lot of different ways that you can make glaze, and my favorite way is just lemon juice and powdered sugar. It turns out the best every time. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do it. You know I've got to try one. That was such a big bite. You know what? I think this is not my favorite. It is good, but I think I prefer the non-sourdough version. Not that I won't eat all of them, but I think that kind of a sour kind of lends itself more towards the savory, although I really like it in the cinnamon rolls. Let me try it again. Yeah. Probably won't make that again. They look really cute, but I would use a different recipe, just a regular old lemon muffin recipe. Anyways, thanks so much for being with me through the entire pantry challenge. If you missed it, I will put up our start of pantry challenge, and I will put up another one of the pantry challenge videos. Thanks so much for being here. If you haven't yet, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.